Kwa hivyo
Hiya guys, back to our YouTube channel. Thanks for your great support. Ensure umelike video na nasema asanteni sana kwa hizo likes zenu. Wale wageni ambao wanatazama kwa mara ya kwanza, please guys, kwa mioyo mikunjufu ensure unajiunga na sisi kwa kubonyeza alama ya subscription hapo chini ili tuwe familia kubwa tena zaidi. Asanteni sana kwa hizo likes, asanteni kujiunga na hii channel. Unajua guys, kwa hii video I don't want you to swipe it up. Please na kuomba tu. Unajua Rais William Ruto alikuwa anafikiria kwamba power belongs to him. Unaona? Power belongs to him. Without knowing that power belongs to 50 million Kenyans ambao yeye anawarule. Yeye alikuwa anajua tu power belongs to him. Na ndio maana William Ruto baada kuchukua uongozi alianza kurule wa Kenya venye anataka na sio venye katiba ambayo ilipitishwa 2010 inasema. So now mambo yamechemuka. Wana opposition, unajua saizi wananchi wana rally behind them. Saizi kila mtu amegeuka Rais William Ruto kwamba tunataka tujaribu mtu mwingine 2027. Tujue juu saizi anatuambia wana opposition hawana agenda. But agenda ya wana opposition kama sisi saizi tumesema ni one term. Kama William Ruto ataenda nyumbani kwanza, moments opposition wanachukua victory 2027, then shida za Wakenya zitakuwa zimepunguka 80%.
Rais anasema kwamba sisi watu wa upinzani hatatuna mpango, hata hatuna agenda. Mpango wetu ni moja tu. Mpango yetu ni kuondoa Ruto kwenye kiti ya 2027. Na tukiondoa Ruto, watu yangu sikiza. Kuondoa Ruto peke yake tu, kumuondoa bila kusema chochote, akitoka tu hivi 80% ya shida za Kenya zitakuwa zimeenda na yeye.
And that's why I don't want you to swipe up this video. Imagine William Ruto chenye Kibaki aliboro in 10 good years, yeye ameboro kwa wiki. So kumaanisha in 1 year William Ruto anakuanga ameingiza nchi ya Kenya taabani. Na ana claim kwamba anataka kumake Kenya iwe kama Singapore.
Kenya is borrowing 1.25 trillion Kenya shillings every year. And therefore, the money Kibaki borrowed in 10 years, we are borrowing every year.
Alafu sasa tutafikia aje Singapore? Kenya itakuwaje first world countries? Kama rais amefika saizi 12 point something trillion Kenyan shillings ambazo anadaiwa. So kumaanisha rais ambaye ataingia pale ndani atakuwa kwa problems. Na ndo William Ruto amesense, so akaendelea kukopa zaidi. Today nimeona kuna interview imekuwa upande wa Citizen TV. Na ndo nimeona nikuwekee kabla tuendelee.
Actually want to plead with the president to start listening, because he has not been listening to people, and to know that these houses are not a priority to Kenyans, and if they are, maybe in the cities like Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu and such, but in the rural areas, people need more money put into education and health, and to tell him that we, all of us, would want to live in Kenya as a first world, actually in our lifetime. But I want to assure you, because we have also traveled to other countries, courtesy of Parliament, that the way to make a first world is not to be on car roofs all the time, launching roads and the projects that you actually, that do not happen, and where the machinery and what you follow you after you have launched.
Okay, before I come to Ruben, so in 2024 you did not attend the State of the Nation address because of the events in the aftermath of June 25th.
Yes, that being one of them.
Of course, as documented by the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and the gross human rights violations that were committed.
Yes.
Then as a matter of moral authority, why then did you attend the 2023 one when protesters affiliated to Azimio were killed during the cost of living demonstrations?
I mean, that time, I think whatever had happened to Azimio was not at the scale that happened.
Kenyans were killed. Senator,
yes,
Senator,
yes, I understand.
This is the point. Very important.
Yes.
And at the time, the protests were about the cost of living. And one trump card that all politicians bear in the back pocket is to upscale the living standards of Kenyans. Kenyans were killed.
Well, yes.
And you attended that State of the Nation
Yes,
address.
I did. Yes,
so
I did.
it's then you are playing the political card then, isn't it?
No, it's not a political card. You know, Ayub. You know,
Ayub, don't be too hard on
it's
him.
me that Ayub has asked the question. It is not you. You'll get your time.
Hang on.
It's me answering the question.
Hang on, yeah.
I mean, yes, the scale
Yeah.
wasn't as big as that of 2024. And allow me to also say,
One life lost is too
why
many.
don't I
Allow
let
him
me
to
answer
finish.
this question,
Allow him to finish.
Ruben.
Yeah, allow him to finish.
And you know, sometimes when a mistake happens, sometimes you want to believe maybe it's just a mistake that is not going to continue. So, coupled with what happened in 2023, and what then again happened in 2024, then I was able to realize it was not just a mistake in 2023. It was like a policy of this particular president. So, you know, when a mistake first happens, Ayub, sometimes you may think that this person maybe did this by mistake. But when he does the same in even a much bigger scale, then you start reasoning and thinking that this is the policy of this particular person or this particular regime. So I may not have been able to, quick to ignore the 2023 one because I thought maybe it happened by mistake. But when in 2024 he confirmed that was his the policy of his government. Now there was a time. Remember, even when people are divorcing, Ayub, it is not the first mistake that brings the divorce, but when it is sustained, then you realize this is not somebody I can live with. And I hope that answers your question of why 2023 and not 2024.
Point made, but one life lost is too many.
Yes, of course. And then finally, to tell the president that God created very many Kenyans, over 40 million of us, and each one of us has a head with the brains. So next time he addresses people, he should not say that people are brainless, least of all leaders. It is important that he knows that he is not the only person that was given brains by God. God was gracious to us also. We give us brains, and he should not look down upon us, on us like we are inferior human beings. There are issues that kindly I would want to talk about. Markets before this issue evaporates, Ayub. You know, you tried to raise the issue of whether it's a county government function or a national government function with Mark. Mark did not want to answer that question because simply markets are under counties. And if the national government wants to construct market structures in counties, they should actually give them as grants to counties. But you see, President Ruto will not accept to do that because he wants to go or come to Murang'a, for example, and say, see, I'm constructing this market structure for you. So it's a matter of politics. It is a county government function, and that must be made very clear to our viewers that the president is just doing politics with markets. He is not supposed to be anywhere with market structures. The other thing is public participation. You know, if you go to some of the areas where you find these market structures, nobody would need them. If you had asked, if there was public participation, to ask those traders there, mostly they are women, and asked them, will you need a market structure, a storied market structure here, or would you rather get a market structure, or have your kids, the schools, receive their capitation and have your hospitals, the hospital insurance fund, doing well. They will tell you otherwise. Otherwise, there is no listening with this thing. When you played that clip, and the president says that we are a listening government, and the Constitution has given people the right to question what we do. Hello. The president listens when he's saying that leaders are brainless. Who would talk to him if he cannot even listen to leaders? He thinks they are brainless. What about the holoi polloi, the commoners? Would you even be able to express yourself if leaders are brainless? Because in this country, according to President Ruto, he is the only person that God created in this country with a head and a brain. Everybody else is brainless. And then he tells people that he is listening. Let him give Kenyans a break. Because that is doublespeak. When Gen Zs tried to express themselves last year, and there was a report from this media house last evening, about how, telecom companies, were used to track those young people. Most of them, of course, were killed. I think the number starts at about 128. And then somebody is saying, the president is saying that people have a democracy. There's democracy here. They have a right to question. While when you question, actually, you'll be treated right to your home, abducted and killed. Let us, and that's why Ayub, allow me to say, I'll not be attending this afternoon's State of the Nation address by the president, because I know he will come there and make a double speak, promise things that he does not believe in, things that are contrary to what actually he does.
Did you attend the 2023 one?
Yes, that I did, because by that time we had not known that he was double-faced. We had believed
last year, 2020.
No, I didn't. How could I have attended the State of Nation address being made by somebody who had led a government that had killed so many young people just for expressing themselves? And how could I have gone to such a house where, you remember when he finally said that he was going to drop Adani deals, members of parliament who are previously supporting the same started saying Igwe. And when Ruben here talks about parliament, the role of parliament, parliament is compromised. It's unfortunate, but you don't expect anything that President Ruto that does not want to pass in parliament to pass, because of course of the numbers that he has, especially after he was able to get into a coalition with most of the opposition parties. And Ayub, you talked about these advisors, and Mark here, even told you that Kibaki had 40 ministers. The thing is, do we in the first place need advisors? We have very good technocrats in every ministry, Ayub. Technocrats, people who are very good at the job in any ministry, just in any education. You'll find the best educationists there. Go to agriculture, for example. You will find some very learned people with long experience with matters agriculture. Why would you need advisors? And anyway, President Ruto is not advised by anybody. He advises advisors on how to advise him. And that is something that has been proven over time. Allow me to tell my brother
I need
Omolo.
to come to Ruben.
A minute or half.
Yes.
To tell my brother Omolo. He says that we have enjoyed relative calm in the last 12 years, although Ruben told him no. In July, we had a protest in July. But if they have subsided, it is because of the crackdown that was done last year. So people fear, young people fear that they'll be actually abducted and killed. And the other thing is, sometimes, Ayub, you get used to a situation, however bad, and you are like, now you cannot change this situation. And remember, so Kenyans have just decided the elections are now nearer. Let us just keep quiet, wait to send this guy home. In 2027. Where I come from, we say we are going to kill both the snake and its eggs in 2027. So I think that is why there is that calm. It is an easy calm.
Okay, Dr. Yes, and then we sample the feedback.
So first of all, let's go to the basics, because we are equivocating around too many issues here. First of all, let's just ask the question: why did ODM or the young people in 2023 put on sufurias on their heads? We laugh at it. We laugh and call ODM names. But a sufuria was a symbol of hunger. Chakula hakuna. And we laugh at it as if it was comical. 2024, the young people are asking for accountability. They're asking for an end to corruption. They're asking for a revision of the finance budget, the finance bill. What does the government do? How does the government respond? Crack down on them violently, and they were peacefully demonstrating on the streets with bottles of water. And now, how does this listening president respond to the young people? He calls them criminals, he calls them, treasoners, and so on. What I'm trying to tell you is that the young people are simply asking for accountability. If that is wrong, then I want to be wrong with them. The second thing is 2025. There was that anniversary of June 25th. young people were killed. You remember the girl called Bridget, shot in their own house. She was not protesting, or Juang, and so on. And you can ask me about this because I have filed a case against Murkomen and his security bosses, friends. Because one life is too much. If you kill over 100, that's a genocide. And how does this listening government that calls young people terrorists behave? They actually act with terror against the young people and then call 19-year-olds terrorists. I'm actually not amused. And so we need to go back to the foundations. That's all I'm asking for. Let's all go back to the foundations and say, what is it these young people want? What is it Kenyans want? Okay. That's how to listen to people. Now, when it comes to housing, if we are going to deduct people's pay slips, then give the people you are deducting the pay slips houses. Because what is the point of paying for a house I will not own? It doesn't make sense. And that's what we are telling the president. So this afternoon, he'll certainly be talking about, affordable housing. For who? Who will own those houses? And we're saying, if you are listening, you would know that the country does not prioritize houses. Then let me talk about our young people that are dying in the Middle East. The New York Times had this article, how top people in government are actually the ones sending our young people there and negotiating. So instead of creating jobs here, we want to export our young people. I think that is unacceptable. Okay. We need to make a country that works for all. And just lastly, if the farmers in South Nyanza are being paid, mine in Western Kenya are complaining. The sugar farmers. So we need to actually balance the whole thing. Maybe you should also pay them.
Thank you.
I want to urge the president to continue listening more, just like he listened and cancelled the Dani. Just like he listened and there are no more taxes. I think that finance bill, after it was suspended, we haven't introduced additional taxes. On the issue of evictions that has been alluded to by Dr. Kigame, I think when you go to Maringo, Makongeni, Woodley, the reality is that the demand, if you look at even the private sector, people who are having homes on 1 acre are actually living and putting up because the need is there and for that particular reason. Okay. The only thing that we need to ensure is that when we move the guys in Maringo, Makongeni and all these other places, that they get first priority in their location on the new block. Because on the same parcel of land, you can accommodate more people. And these are the realities. Change is painful.
Dr. Was that the case for Sami Lui?
He should answer.
The next thing that I also wanted to say is that no Kenyan should die. Yeah. And just like you challenged my good friend here, when the ODM and Azimio protesters were killed, he didn't even talk. He never even criticized it. We are not saying that anyone should die, but we need to be consistent. And I actually think that over the last 4 or so years, and I think that's why Azimio actually came in to try and say, okay, if you're saying we stop disagreeing on the streets, let's now sit together and see how we can take this great country forward. Thank you. So as the president is coming in today, we just want to tell him that one of the things that actually the real feedback from the ground now is that infrastructure is going on very well, but now people want money in their pocket. Thank you. So that the initiatives over the next 2 years should be initiatives that put money in the pockets of the people so that the cost of living can be dealt with. Thank you very much.
So William Ruto anafaa ende nyumbani, tujaribu jamaa mwingine. Without that, tunaendelea kulia tu, tutalia tu to 2032. Kifika 2032, I don't know kutakuwa aje. Mwananchi wa kawaida atakuwa melia na hadi amezoea maisha. Your thoughts kwenye comment section. Siku njema, bye bye.